Have you ever found yourself somewhere that just felt wrong? A place that makes your skin crawl, even though nothing really happened. That was me in Vietnam, at a forgotten theme park. I'd heard of this place, a theme park nestled high up in the mountains. Quirky, colourful, full of life, or at least that's what I was expecting. But what I found was something entirely different. Started with the mist, thick pale, almost glowing, like something out of a horror movie. I couldn't see more than 10 feet ahead, just enough to catch a glimpse of cartoon statues, empty benches and wet pavement. There was no one there, not a soul, just the sound of water dripping. And then a creak. One of the rides moving? The wind maybe? I wasn't sure, but I froze. I then started to move slowly, and I started calling out, "Hello? Hello?" No response, only the echo of my own voice. And then I heard footsteps, crunching gravel behind me. I turned around fast and saw nothing, just mist. I started to wonder if this place was even safe. Dotted around the area was mystical cars just laying there, almost as if they are just there to die, but no rust, no nothing. Empire castles just floating in space, weird trees and flowers floating around the place. Very surreal area. Walking around this place was very distraughting. It was very beautiful, but also scary. Not knowing what or who was following me. I knew at some point that there was something there, but I didn't know what it was. Half of my mind was telling me to stay and continue exploring this magical place, and the other half was telling me to run, go home, be somewhere safe. Every statue, every building, it looked wrong in the mist. Eyes that seemed to follow me. I laughed to myself nervously, thinking this could be a horror movie set and I was the main character, who always ignores the warning signs. I stopped walking, just stood still, closed my eyes, tried to listen. Nothing. And then a bell, one loud ring from the top of the hill. No idea where it came from. At this point I was starting to feel watched. That strange feeling like something's right over your shoulder, you know that feeling? Like your body knows something before your brain does. So I did what any horror movie idiot would do. I kept on going. I realised I wasn't in a horror movie. I was just in Vietnam, in a theme park, where my mind was just wandering off, overthinking, accepting the moment for what it was and where I was, and making me more scared than I should have been. The weather really played a part in this. Turns out it was just bad weather. The park hadn't closed down. There were people there, just very few. The weather was bad, and I was at the Golden Hand Bridge. It was a very delightful day, apart from the weather. We couldn't see much, but we made the most of it and had a great laugh. We walked this once and we got absolutely soaked. We picked up some raincoats, we walked it again. We got even more wet somehow. We continued around different parts of the park after this because we were absolutely soaked and we wanted to see more of what was going on. There was another thing that we wanted to do, was the roller coaster tobogganing, but that was closed with the weather. But we made the best of it. As we were walking around different sections, as you've seen in the previous video there where no one was around because it was so windy and wet, I decided to actually edit this video into a kind of a horror story at the start. But as you can see, loads of people around, everybody was just making the best of it. That's what you can do. You can book months in advance, but only it takes one day for it to just rain. And what do? You just make the best of it. What you can, go out with a smile, remember where you were, and you know what? We're one of very few people who have actually experienced it like this, in that specific weather pattern. Now I say that, but most people who go here probably don't post on Instagram. But everybody seemed to have a little bit of a smile on their face. I was in a high mood, and we were one of the first ones up on the cable car. So we went up with a family, we had a laugh with them. I think they were almost about to invite me home for dinner that night. Very friendly people, the Vietnamese. And then when we got there, we started exploring the bridge. We done one round where there was no one there on it, and then as soon as we done a loop back around, there was more people on the bridge. And then we went off to different sections, as I was saying, and it was because there was the weather was bad, nothing was happening outside, and I think a lot of people knew that. They probably checked the weather. But by the time we were coming back to take the cable cars, the place was crowded. So if you do plan to come to the Golden Hand Bridge, I would definitely recommend doing this early, because even early still has a good few people around.